Hi guys, this is Scribbly with another pen review, and today we're going to have a look at a Pelikan pen, as you can already see here. And a Pelikan that we're having a look at today is the M200 Brown Marbled. It's not the first time that I do review an M200/M205. That is why the review is going to be probably a little bit shorter, more focused on the material. Yeah, that maybe in advance. I got that pen sent for review from Frank at Fontoplumo. Thank you very much, Frank, for sending me that pen for review. I appreciate that a whole lot. Now, before we dive into the review, Pelikan has been somewhat on a brown spree the past couple of months, so to speak. So they kicked it off with the M200 Smoky Quartz here. That is like a brown translucent demonstrator pen that they had released with the Smoky Quartz, with that brown ink. Then they had the Pelikan M800 Sovereign Renaissance brown released, which was like a brown marbled squirrely patterned pen in the M800 size. And now, last but not least, we are confronted or presented here with that beautiful M200 brown marbled. So that's like the third brown pen in the span of probably something like 6 to 10 months. I don't really know all the release dates by heart at the moment, but there's been quite a bit of brown pens those days by Pelikan. Pen comes in this white gift box here, then arrives in this black and silver gray outer box that most Pelikan M200s that are part of the classic series or M205s arrive in. Pelikan typo logo and logo on top of the box, and no surprise in here, the white Forks leather pen pouch here, and then under it you have the Pelikan brochure with, you know, product information. I don't have to take that out right now because I basically went through that in any M200 review, so I'm not gonna do that right now. Right here, let's have a look at the pen. Of course, no surprise, it's an M200, so it has that classic shape that is like the same shape as a M400, 5 in that case here, Sovereign pen. It then is, and that's why I have that Sovereign here with me, and I'll keep it here a minute because it's a not only a brown marbled pen, it's actually more gold marbling. I was slightly not disappointed, but well, I would have loved to see actually a little bit more brown in the marbling, because the marbling, it's a super beautiful material. As you can see here, it has a lot of richness to it, it has a lot of depth to it, but I do find it more gold and black actually than brown marbled. Well, the pen itself is brown, and that is often a little bit difficult to see with Pelikan pens. There was a lot of questions when that pen came out, when there were the first marketing pictures on that pen, of whether the piston turning knob and the cap, whether they are black or brown, because that was not really clear on the marketing pictures of Pelikan. It was also not clear to me. I then emailed Frank here at Fontoplumo, who has sent me that pen, and he told me, yeah, it's brown. And once I got the pen and I was able to place that in between the M400 brown tortoise, that definitely is brown. This here is the black Stresemann M400 Stresemann, or M405 I shall say, Stresemann, and you definitely see that this is black and this is brown, right? I put in between the Smoky Quartz, which of course is not an amber, because there's the Cognac, also an older special edition, which is more amberish, but like it's more of a lighter brown, as you can see in between here. And if we now take the new M200 brown marbled, you do see that in between the Stresemann and the brown tortoise, The brown of that M200 brown marbled is a bit darker than the brown of the brown tortoise, but it is definitely a brown, not a black. So for anybody that had a question about the tone of the brown, it's maybe basically the same brown as the brown tortoise. It's really difficult to compare. In my eyes, it's slightly darker, but then color often is a little bit in the eye of the beholder. But I hope that this comparison here does help you to get kind of a picture on how brown that brown marbled actually is. But I hope you can see that it's definitely brown, not black. That's what that comparison should tell you. So as said, shape of a M200/M400, a brown cap, a brown piston turning knob, a gold band up here on the finial, of course, the Pelikan logo, that gold band here that goes into that bill-shaped, Pelikan bill-shaped clip that flares out here. One of the best clips out there on the market, if you ask me, because it's super easy to slide into a shirt pocket or pen pouch. Those two stylized eyes of that Pelikan face / bill, gold cap band here saying Pelikan Germany, and another gold band down here at the piston turning knob. Pelikan M200s are screw off caps and they take not even a full turn to unscrew here. That's like 3/4 of a turn, which is awesome because it makes it a super quick note taker. I really love that. Inner cap that you can't really see right here to prevent the nib from drying out does an excellent job in doing so. I never picked that pen up and I had it run dry on me. We then have, and you can't really see that here, yeah, you see it a little bit, the lighting conditions, you know, you see that this is a brown ink window, a very large brown ink window spanning from here right up to here, about 1 centimeter or 1.5, something like that. Does a fantastic job in giving you a indication of how much ink is left in the pen right here. That one here is inked with this smoky quartz brown ink. We then have a Pelikan gold-plated steel nib on here saying Pelikan, having a breather hole, the Pelikan logo, and M for medium. Feet down there. This nib is butter. It's really, really, really fantastic to write with. I do really love Pelikan nibs, and those steel nibs are definitely stellar. We then have a section down here that flares out a wee bit. If you've seen my reviews of the M200 pens before or the M400 pens before, you know that I think that those are pens that are on the smaller side. They're definitely still okay for me to hold in hand lengthwise unposted. It's rather girth-wise that I find them not problematic, but definitely on the thinner side. They're still okay for me to write with, but if you do prefer slightly beefier pens such as the M600, M800, be aware that the pen may be slightly on the thin side for you. As said, I find it really okay still. Pen has a perfect balance, posted as well. For me, it actually doesn't really matter whether I write the pen posted or unposted. I normally write it unposted for some quicker notes and then posted for longer writing sessions because it just gives it a little bit additional weight, and as said, still doesn't throw off the balance. Really, really fantastic balance. These M200s are pens that are like the pens that have like one of the best balances out there compared to overall like other pens that are available out there on the market. Really great balance posted. As said, of course, it has an ink window, so it's a piston filling fountain pen for sure. Threads are not sharp at all, no problem there. So you could technically hold the pen up here if that would be more comfortable for you. Yeah, that's that. Let's do a quick size comparison to my standard size reference pen, the Lamy Safari. And you do see what I meant when I said that that M200 brown marbled here is a slightly smaller pen, because yes, it is a slightly smaller pen, especially capped. That's a fascinating thing about Pelikans, that they often look short capped, but then when you uncap them, you go like, whoa, they're actually not that short. It is actually because the cap sits pretty deep down the barrel. That makes the pen appear shorter when capped. Makes it also one of the most usable shirt pocket pens. It's my favorite shirt pocket pen, the M400/M200 model. That's what it looks like posted. I can also post the Lamy Safari for you. Kind of pointless because the pen gets really long. But let's do that just for the sake of having a complete picture. Let's appreciate one more time before we hop into a writing sample this really lovely brown marbled material. Really has a lot of depth to it, a lot of sparkle and glitter in there. As said, for my personal taste, it does have a little bit too much gold in it. I would have appreciated the brown marbled to look a little bit more like cafe latte, like a little bit less gold and more brown maybe. Let's appreciate the pen maybe once again. Side by side, other brown pens the same size. Here you have it beside the M200 smoky quartz and beside the M400 brown tortoise. That's what it looks like. I personally prefer the brown tortoise, but of course it's like almost 3 times as expensive. It is a nice pen, as a matter of fact. Let's hop into a writing sample towards the end of the review. Zoom in a little bit. As said, that nib really is butter. Didn't really dry up a lot, even though I had it uncapped for quite a while in the course of the review now. M200 brown marbled. Medium nib. So smooth, really a fantastic writer. Definitely on the wetter side of things. This is quite absorbent paper, but there's still a bit of wetness in there. So as said, the pen is definitely on the wetter side of things. Has a little bit more feedback than the gold nibs, and I think you can hear that. But I actually do like that if pens have a little bit of feedback, so just that you know that you're writing. I'm also a great fan of Sailor nibs, and Sailor nibs of course also do have that kind of feedback. Now this Pelikan nib does certainly not have as much feedback as the Sailor nib. It is a very smooth nib, but it's really a pleasant writer and a really beautiful finish. Frank, thank you very much for sending me that pen for review. If you're looking for that pen, you can get it, for instance, on fontoplumo.nl. I hope that review was useful to you guys, and I'm glad you see you at the next review. Bye bye.